What's going on, guys? Aero here, and welcome back to another video. Now in today's video, I want to talk to you guys more about the Pokemon Sinnoh remakes, which could be coming out later this year. Now we're going to be talking more about predictions and hopes and wishes for the Sinnoh remakes, but this video is actually going to be part 2 to the video that I already made about my hopes and wishes a couple days ago. So if you haven't seen that video, I highly encourage you to go and watch it. It's like a video essay style type of video where it's just my thoughts on a whole bunch of things that I would love to see inside of the Sinnoh remakes and kind of what I really loved about the original Gen 4 games when they first came out. So if you haven't seen that video, there should be a little eye up in the corner. You can definitely go ahead and click on that video. That's like a part 1 to pretty much all the stuff that I would like to see. So definitely go ahead and check that video out. But if you want to go and watch it after you're done watching this video, I'll also put it in the outro. But in this video, we're going to be taking a look at your thoughts on what you guys would love to see inside of the Pokemon Sinnoh remakes. And so I put up a tweet a couple days ago on Twitter where I asked you guys for your hopes and wishes on the Sinnoh remakes. So we're going to be taking a look at a lot of your responses and what you guys have to say, and I'll give you guys my thoughts on them and the possibility of if they could happen or not. So yeah, let's get started. Alright, so the first one that we've got here is from my dude Blunzy, who says, Alright, so the first one that we've got here is from Butter, who says, I want them to improve the following Pokemon and camp in general. I love it in Gen 8, but it could definitely use some touches. Otherwise, you already covered what I'd want the most out of the Gen 4 remakes. So yeah, with Pokemon Camp, I mean, I didn't really use it too much, but it was okay in Pokemon Sword and Shield. But like you mentioned, it could definitely use some touches. I remember there were some times I was doing Pokemon Camp and like the toys that were there, like the ball, like I remember throwing it and the Pokemon wouldn't go and get it for me. It would just kind of stand there. So some of it was a little bit weird. And like how you said with the following Pokemon, they did add it with the Pokemon Sword and Shield DLC, but it's not really done that properly like how it kind of was with Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, where I know with like Pokemon Sword and Shield, I'm sure you've seen some of the meme videos with like Dragapult like really slowly walking behind someone, even though it's supposed to be like one of the fastest Pokemon in the game.
You want to hurry the fuck up? How you the fastest Pokemon in this game and you're moving that damn slow? What the fuck? You have like base 1000 speed. What are you doing? You fucking serious, man?
They could definitely use some fixing up with that as well, so maybe they could definitely do that with the Gen 4 remakes if they do have following Pokemon. Next up, Mira here is saying, I want all the past content in the originals to be in the games, but it probably won't happen sadly. I just hope that the region isn't remade to be linear, because this region was the exact opposite of linear with the big caves such as Mount Coronet. And I totally agree with you. I talked a lot about like the past content in my first video, but in terms of how you said like how the region hopefully isn't remade to be linear, I definitely agree with you. I don't want that to happen as well, because the Sinnoh region is my favorite region in terms of map design because of how the region is not linear at all. There's actually so many little areas and secret places that you get to open up once you get new abilities with the HMs, like being able to surf and use rock climb. And I remember going back to so many older locations once I got these abilities and finding new locations myself. One of my favorite places within the Sinnoh region is a place called the Fuego Ironworks, and the reason that I love this place so much is because of how it is like a little mini secret area that you can discover by yourself if you actually decide to explore the region. You don't have to go to this area at all in the main story, it's not part of the main adventure, and you could totally beat Cynthia and beat this entire game without ever having stepped foot here. But the reason that it is so cool is that if you actually did decide to go back to previous areas and surf and find new locations, then you would end up finding this area and you'd be like, wow, there's actually a place here. There's even a building, and you would go in there and there would be different trainers to battle and stuff, and it just felt so cool because it actually felt like you explored and you managed to discover something that you never knew even existed there. And I remember going there as a kid and like there were so many cool TMs and items there, and I was just like, wow, this is a completely new area that I would have never known about. And that's the sense of exploration that I loved about the older Pokemon games. There is no area like this within Pokemon Sword and Shield or even Pokemon Sun and Moon, where like you actually get to surf off and find your own secret area that you don't even need to go to in order to beat the game. That's what I love about the Sinnoh region. There's multiple areas like this that you don't even need to go to. So that's what I'm hoping stays within the Sinnoh remakes. Like, please keep all these little secret hidden areas like you had in the original. Don't make it into a full-on linear path. And also let me know down below in the comments, did any of you guys also discover this Fuego Ironworks area? Because I'm kind of curious to see, like, did you guys also discover this area because you were like me and you kind of explored every part of the region and found these secret areas? Or did you not even know about this area till I just mentioned it? Because I'm kind of curious to see how many of you guys knew about it. Next up, we've got Subarashi, who's saying, what I think needs to be in the Diamond and Pearl remakes is the Distortion World. The Distortion World was a unique golden recipe in Platinum that many other previous Pokemon games did not have, so I'll say that it deserves to be in the remakes. Also, I do miss the old event quest, and yeah, I totally agree with you on everything that you said. The Distortion World was just so unique about the Sinnoh region, and even though it was in Pokemon Platinum, that's like one of the parts of the Sinnoh region that everybody loved so much. Like if you mention Sinnoh, that's one of the things that people think about a lot because it was so cool. It was like this weird anti-universe that you kind of visited, and it was so cool because of how you were able to walk on walls and be able to surf up a waterfall or like down a waterfall on the side. It just looked so weird, and being able to imagine this area in HD on the Nintendo Switch and seeing it on your TV, there are so many more cool effects and different ways that they could do it to make it look even more creepy and cool. So that's why I would love to see the Distortion World inside of the Sinnoh remakes. And also what you mentioned with the old event quest, I mean, like in terms of like the mythical Pokemon events, there were so many cool events that they did back in the older games with like the Darkrai event, the Cresselia event, even like that really long path that you had to walk in order to get Shaman. But like those are really cool events that you actually had to do with content and little things that were hidden inside of the game in order to get these mythical Pokemon. And I hate the way that they do the mythical Pokemon distributions now, because it's literally like you just walk into a Pokemon Center and you get it from a delivery man, or I think they even got rid of that in Sword and Shield. Like now I think it's just a mystery gift. Like you just go into your menu, you press mystery gift, and all of a sudden it gets delivered into your game. It's so lame. Like how do you get like one of the rarest Pokemon just delivered to you like that? Like it would have been so cool to have more lore and a backstory and just actual in-game content for that. So hopefully they keep that within the Sinnoh remakes. I don't think so though. I really feel like there's no way that's gonna happen as much as I wanted. I really do miss it from the older games, but yeah, I feel like that's really unlikely to happen. Next up, we've got Min here who's saying this might be an underrated one, but I want them to actually make a battle theme for the Elite Four. They have the same battle theme as the gym leaders, and I feel like that they need to have something to distinguish them and make them feel more memorable. Now, if I remember correctly, I think that the Elite Four did have a slightly different battle theme than the gym leader theme that they had in the Sinnoh region, but it was very similar, so you are correct with how it does sound very similar. Like it will be kind of hard to tell the difference, but I do remember being it slightly different. Like maybe some of you guys know as well. I mean, I'm pretty sure that they were a little bit different, but they are very similar, so it would be nice to get its own actual unique Elite Four battle theme. But I did enjoy the Elite Four battle theme a lot within the Sinnoh game, so even if they decide to do the same thing again where they just kind of remix it a little bit with the new soundtrack, I'd be totally fine with that as well. Ash is saying, I'd like for them to include something like the Delta episode where in the post game you get a little story in the Distortion World that lets you catch Giratina and Arceus. I'd also like for them to have voice acting, and most of all, I want the Battle Frontier to come back. So yeah, in terms of the Delta episode, I do want something like that with Arceus. It would be nice if it incorporated Giratina and even Dialga and Palkia to some extent, but definitely with Arceus, like how they did with Deoxys inside of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, that would be really nice. And then like what you said with the Battle Frontier, that would be awesome as well. In terms of voice acting, I really want voice acting inside of Pokemon games. I think it's very much needed, but I don't think that they would do that within the Diamond and Pearl remakes. That definitely feels like something they would introduce within like a brand new generation, so maybe they decide to do that in Generation 9 if they finally do it. Rod here is saying New Game Plus, character customization, and better graphics are my top 3 wishes for a Sinnoh remake. Also, they could make the Battle Frontier Island open world like the Wild Area and Sword and Shield DLC. So yeah, New Game Plus would be really awesome to have in a Pokemon game. I've actually talked about this in the past where I think it would be so cool if you could play through like the main Pokemon adventure again, but this time you get to keep all of your older Pokemon from your old save file, you get to catch new Pokemon and stuff. I think that would be kind of cool, but I don't think it would be a new feature that they would introduce within a remake. That feels like something they would do with like a brand new generation with like Gen 9 if they finally decide to do it. Character customization, I agree with you, like that should definitely come back. I know it was cut within Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire because they said they wanted to make it like the originals. I don't like that excuse. I definitely think that they should add it within the Sinnoh remakes. Like there's so much good potential for really good different types of character customization. Like imagine a Cynthia outfit or a Cyrus outfit or outfits based on the gym leaders. Like there's a lot of potential that they could have if they did have character customization. So I definitely agree with you in that. And better graphics, like I really do want them to update some of the graphics from Sword and Shield. It is probably still going to be in the same engine, but just having some updated textures and graphics would also be pretty nice. Envy is saying, I hope that we get the option to use the original Gen 4 music. We had the GB sounds in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, but we didn't get that option to use the old soundtracks in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and Let's Go. It would be great to have the ability to choose. And yeah, I totally forgot about this item until you just mentioned it, but yeah, that's actually really true. I loved having the GB sounds item in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I remember you got that, and I remember like you could actually listen to like the old retro soundtracks for all the locations and all the battle themes. So yeah, if you could actually listen to like the original Cynthia battle track and like the original original versions of all of the towns and cities, that would actually be really awesome. So yeah, I really hope that this feature would make a return. I'd actually be really happy. Jay is saying character customization like Sword and Shield, letting a Pokemon out of the ball and walk beside you like in Let's Go but not Sword and Shield, bike effects like in Sword and Shield, clothes for a few Pokemon, local multiplayer, online would be great too, but come on, it's Game Freak, fully customizable secret base. So yeah, I mean, a lot of these things I agree with you, character customization, walking Pokemon, bike effects would be cool as well, clothing would also be kind of nice, especially for contests, local multiplayer would be cool too, but I definitely think that it should have online now if they do have like the online with the underground. Like, I mean, we're in an online era now, so there definitely should be some online. And like how you mentioned with the fully customizable secret base as well, that's definitely something that should be there with the online too. Casey here is saying, please let us turn off the EXP share, and I definitely agree with this one. Like, this was one of the things that I really didn't like about Pokemon Sword and Shield, was that the EXP share was always on at all times, you couldn't turn it off, and all of your Pokemon always got experience points, and it was just really weird because you felt like you were getting over leveled at some parts, even if you didn't want to level, because of how the EXP share was always on. So all of my Pokemon kept getting experience points, and it was just really dumb because in the older games you could just have the option to turn it off. Like, you could go into your bag and press the off button and all of a sudden all the problems would be solved. I don't know why they got rid of the ability to make us be able to have that choice, so please bring that option back. Hopefully they got the feedback with Sword and Shield. I really want the option to turn it off within the Diamond and Pearl remakes. Victory Flare is saying, I want megas to come, new and old ones, the Distortion World, Arceus missions, and flute summons like the Delta episode in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Give Arceus a new form like its own special form or maybe a mega. Remove HMs, have secret bases, underground digging, Battle Frontier, or something close to the PWT like what Black and White 2 had. So yeah, a lot of good things here. I definitely agree with everything. There's really nothing that I feel like I don't want to have. Arceus having a new form would be awesome. HMs being removed would be nice, but I still want the concept of them to be there, like what they did with Gen 7, like how you could just remove all the HM stuff with having ride Pokemon, but there were still puzzles and different locations to get to. So that would be really nice if they kept the same with the Sinnoh region. Emily is saying, I'd like to see a Pokemon boutique where you could buy accessories and outfits for your Pokemon. They did this with your partner in the Let's Go games, but it could work well for the visuals competition. Maybe you could even have them wear these items outside of contests. And yeah, I think that would be really cool if you could buy these for like your starter Pokemon. I'd imagine it would be hard to do it for like every single Pokemon that's inside of the games, but it would be nice for like if you could buy it for your starter Pokemon or like certain special Pokemon like Pikachu. But I think it would be cool if like you could give them special items and then have them be able to wear them even outside if they have following Pokemon, or just being able to use them in contests. I think it would be pretty cool. And finally, we've got Alex here who's saying, honestly, I just want a game that's better than the original and maybe some voice acting as well. I'm really hoping that we get the Distortion World via something like the Aura Delta episode, just as long as it's better than the original Sinnoh games on the DS. And yeah, I feel like if they go off of the original games, there's a lot that can be improved, but at the same time, I really want a lot of the content that was introduced in Pokemon Platinum to also appear inside of these remakes, because it was really Pokemon Platinum that made the Sinnoh region really amazing and memorable for so many people. So I do want the content from Pokemon Platinum to be there as well. And like what you mentioned with voice acting, it would be really awesome. Pokemon definitely needs it, but I don't think that they would introduce it within some remakes. It would definitely be something like that would be a brand new feature of like a whole new generation. So maybe they decide to do that in the next games if they finally do it. And so yeah, there you go guys, those are a lot of your thoughts on what you would want to see inside of the Pokemon Sinnoh remakes. I tried to keep some of the answers kind of varied because a lot of you guys did say kind of similar things, like you didn't want Dynamaxing, you wanted Mega Evolutions, and that you wanted like the Battle Frontier and the Distortion World and stuff. So I tried to keep them kind of varied, but yeah, it seems like a lot of you guys didn't really like Dynamaxing within Generation 8, and it does make sense. I mean, it wasn't really a feature that I'm personally a huge fan of either, but I feel like if they did decide to bring a gimmick into the Sinnoh remakes, they probably would do Dynamaxing because it keeps everything consistent within the generation. But I mean, honestly, if they decided to get rid of it and bring in Megas or something, I would be super happy. I just don't see it happening. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, then definitely be sure to click that like button and also comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of this. What are some of the things that you guys would love to see inside of the Sinnoh remakes? Definitely be sure to comment down below and I'll try to respond to some of you guys. If you're new to this channel, then please be sure to subscribe. I'm definitely gonna have some more Pokemon content in the future, so definitely be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Click on that bell to become a part of the notification squad. Go follow me on Twitter at @Aero so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash Bros and Nintendo, so definitely be sure to join that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.